Welcome everyone to the Purr Play Sip Podcast. My name is Chuck Patton and I am the proprietor of Perfect Day Cafe. And this is my right-hand person, Rosemary. She's amazing. I'm more like her right-hand person at this particular point.
And this is Setsuna.
And we've got a number of other kitties going around. We're actually in the cat lounge of Perfect Day Cafe, and we have adult kitties in here. So Setsuna is in here, and I've got, which is ironic, this is Chucky in here. And then this is what I wanted to point out as well, too. This is Bandit. So Bandit is right at 5 months old, and Setsuna is...
She's about 3.
So she's more like 3 years old. A lot of people are out there in the audience that are looking for cats. What is going to be the best for my home? I've got kids at home. I don't have kids at home. I've got a big house, small house. I got all that good kind of stuff. I'm a student. One of the biggest things that we're trying to do with this podcast is educate people on some things that you should think of. So one of the things that Rosemary and I were reflecting on is I've actually adopted 3 cats from the Cat Cafe. It's actually all 2 cats from the Cat Cafe, and one of them I found is a kitten. So I've always had kittens. And you?
I haven't had a kitten since 1995.
But you...
I have all adult cats.
Right.
All adult cats.
And you would like a kitten?
No. I adore taking care of kittens here, but I much prefer, I actually kind of specialize in special needs kitties, adults and seniors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the approach here, is that I tend to prefer the kittens and like the kittens and be around it for good reasons and bad reasons. And Rosemary's more of the adults. So what we wanted to do today is kind of educate you on some things that you should be considering as you go through here. So the 3 main categories that I usually suggest to folks is, number 1, do you have any other cats at home? Number 2, what is it's number 1, financial situation.
Yes, definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
So can you afford a cat? That's it. This is a totally fixed question. And it's one that we want to encourage people a little bit further on. Cats are something that, yes, they are low maintenance. Really on a month-to-month basis, they are not very expensive. But we do see a lot of returns on people that all of a sudden they bring a cat to a vet and they went, uh-oh, I can't afford that bill. So we want to save people from heartbreak.
Absolutely.
But yes, so make sure it's financial. Other people, other animals or people in the home as well too. And then of course, what kind of space do you have? Those are 3 of the main components that we take a look at. But what we thought we would do is kind of give you our explanation. So we've adopted out over 7,000 cats.
Combined in both of our locations.
In both the locations. Fantastic. So we might have... a little insight, a little experience, but at the same time, one of the things that we know the most about is what we don't know, which is you. So you might be looking for something, and it is important no matter where you go, what shelter you're in. If you're going to a cat cafe like this one, we tell people, don't let anyone talk you into any one cat, or this cat is perfect for you or that cat. You have to know your situation. And it's not the same for everybody. And here, Rosemary and I, both having done this from day one, I might look at kittens and say, yes, that's one, and you look at adult cats. So that's important. But so I thought what I would do is I'll share a little bit about the kittens and why I kind of think things are good, but also some of the challenges as well. And then have you share a little bit about your favorite, the adults.
And they also have their challenges. They absolutely do, especially the adjustment period. That's a big thing. So
absolutely. So hopefully you're going to find something from this and be able to be educated and help be out there and rescue and have a forever friend.
We don't have any children. My husband travels a lot. And so we have 3 adult cats, almost seniors at this point, and they are really, really comfortable in our quiet household. Kittens would be great too, but at this point in our lives, we've just decided that adult cats are the way to go. So when you're looking to adopt an adult cat, we highly recommend, of course, that you go through your local shelter, but you always want to make sure that you are adopting from a reputable place. So our adult cats here, and as well as up in our Covington location, are anywhere between 6 months up to about 7 years right now. This is Commander Crunch. Commander Crunch is 2 years old and so sweet. He's a sweet, sweet boy. He is wonderful. When you get an age that's around 2 years old, you still get a lot of kittens still, as you can see, doing the rollies. As opposed to when you get an older kitty like Muffin over here, who's she's a little more chill, a little more relaxed. And then you even have Butters up here, if you're looking for a nice big chunky kitty. He's so precious. So this is more than a speed of an adult cat. One of the things when you're adopting an adult cat that you need to know is that a lot of times they can come with what we call emotional baggage. So they've either been strays before, they've been owner surrenders, some of them are abandoned on the Kentucky Humane Society property, some of them have just been left out in the streets, and then some of them are coming from your local shelter. So they could be coming from, say, a tornado area or an area that's overcrowded or a busy city shelter or even a busy rural shelter where they really, really want to get these adult cats adopted out to wonderful families. So when you're looking at an adult cat, a lot of times you will get what's called a surrender survey. If the adopter previously has had to surrender their cat, it's wonderful because you get notes on how that kitty was living before he or she ended up at the shelter and then came to your home. But if they don't have any notes, it can be a little bit of a longer transition. So you want to make sure that you have lots of patience in your home, quiet, and take time. If you have an adult cat going into another adult cat's home, slow and steady wins the race. And the same thing if you have dogs or you have small children, you want to make sure that you really take your time, not only for the success of your new kitty, but also for the success of all of your residents in the home, because you do want it to be a slow and positive experience for everybody. You also want to consider that perhaps adult cats on down the line might have some medical issues. For instance, when I adopted from my local shelter, we didn't know at the time, but 6 months later, Sophie was diagnosed with kidney and bladder stones. And then we also have 2 other special needs cats that we didn't know were special needs when we adopted them, because sometimes you just don't know because you don't have that paperwork and things. But we have it in our budget. But wonderful shelters, most of the time, will give you an opportunity to sign up either for complimentary pet insurance for 30 days, or they at least will have a referral, and then you can also go through your own personal insurance through work, and you can even sign up with insurance companies for your pet. It runs about $10 to $12 a month, and it's really helpful, especially as your kitties get older. So when you're adopting an adult cat, think about the age. You also want to think about if you're able to take that time and patience to have a smooth transition with your adult kitties. And you just want to think about, where am I right now in my life, as opposed to getting a kitten. Maybe an adult cat is the right fit for me. By going through your local shelter or a cat cafe, you can spend the time with that cat and learn to make a perfect match.
All right, so maybe instead you're looking for a kitten. One of my favorites. So one of the important things that kittens, and I think Rosemary kind of shared with you, I love the kittens. We are getting right here, just about to get into kitten season. That will be just around May, June. You'll start seeing kittens everywhere. Remember, every adult cat, there's 7 kittens. They're very much in need. So the obvious parts about a kitten when you're looking to adopt, they are a lot more playful, a lot more alert. They explore everywhere, they run everywhere. Sometimes, quite frankly, it becomes difficult to make a match with them because you don't really know what the personality is, because they are literally going 100 miles per hour. This kitten right here is just right at 5 months old. And one of the advantages, the obvious one, is they are just so much fun. They're running around everywhere. They're very, very entertaining. They're just cute. And it's kind of like one of these lifetime experiences that you'll never, it's like when you have a child, there'll only be a child once. And this is a kitten, there'll only be a kitten once. And that is really what everybody says, oh my gosh, they're so cute, I want a kitten. The other advantage as well too, and I'd say it's more for dogs than it is anything else, is the fact that you get to raise them the way you're gonna raise them. You know that their lifespan at 5 months old is short, and now from here on out, you're gonna kind of move forward and train them and acclimate them into your home in the way in which you would like to do that. And you know, those are 2 main advantages. And as much as I love them, they also have a lot going on. So these kittens, as cute as they are, they're very, very fragile. And that would be one of the big things that I would tell everybody to consider. At the beginning of this video, we talked about financial. Yes, there are a lot of situations where all of a sudden things happen because you have a small child, if you will, within this kitten, and you bring him to the vet and maybe there's something that goes wrong. They just are not as stable as an adult cat, and therefore more of a likelihood of things going wrong. The other part of it, and it's one of my favorite parts actually, is if you get one, you might have to get two. So there's a lot of people that will come to the cafe and they will say, oh, hey, we just adopted a cat from you, and we think we need another one. So they'll be very rambunctious, they'll be playing a lot, they'll climb everything, and you'll get to the point where you say, hey, I'm wondering if I get another one. Maybe they'll just wrestle each other. And that is something we do recommend. If your household does not have a current animal in the house, then this might be a great opportunity for you to, look at an adult cat maybe versus the kittens, or to perhaps get two kittens. The other disadvantage or the advantage of a kitten is that they really don't have any preconceived notions about what other cats are or what other dogs are. They might acclimate a little bit easier to an adult cat or an adult dog, and they might even acclimate a little bit more to children in the house. But I think one of the things that's important with the children in the house is that it seems like very logical that, hey, the kids will want to play with them. They'll have such a great time. It totally makes sense. Well, it depends on how old they are. You have a 2-year-old in the household and you have this kitten on here. Remember, they don't retract their claws all the time. They just hang out, they attack everything, and they have a lot of fun. So it may not be a good idea to be introducing a kitten to a child, and for that matter, maybe not even an adult. But it is one of the things that we highly consider as you take a look at a couple of them. And they are amazingly sweet, and what we would recommend for everybody that's out there is the other piece of it is just to understand that if you do get a kitten, even a kitten from a cat cafe and everything, they're going to do everything they can possible to make sure that that kitten is all taken care of and all prepped and ready. But you absolutely need to make sure that you bring your kitten into your vet. As a smaller animal, if they do get sick, they crash a lot faster. A lot of times adults can try to kick that, not as sick at that particular point, but that is what we recommend. So whether or not you're out here looking for an adult kitty or a kitten, we hope we provide you with some information. Again, Rosemary and I have different views on what we like, and both of them are right. And I think that's important, that before you make a 15 to 20-year commitment, that you start taking a look at some of these things that we pointed out to you. Take a look at what your situation is, the finance, the time, the room in the home, and more importantly, what's the rest of your family look like, and making sure that this is perfect for you all. So if this has been helpful for you, please help us to share this information. Our objective here is to really try to get out there and educate folks, become a resource beyond just what this cafe is doing. So click subscribe, share it with your friends, tell everybody about it, and especially if someone is looking to adopt, make sure that you are looking within our videos and figure out what it is that you all need for your home so you can find your perfect match. Thanks so much, and we hope to talk to you soon.